Thanks for joining me once again for Tarot Tuesday by Third Eye of Providence. I appreciate everybody's support since I started this project earlier this year, and all of the likes and the comments and the subscribes really mean a lot to me. I'm just glad anybody at all is resonating with these messages, and this has been so fun for me to expand and explore my practice with the tarot. So this week I have done zodiac sign readings for the New Year's energy. So these are messages to you from Spirit regarding energies you need to pay attention to going into the start of 2021. I did pull cards from the Twin Tarot. I did clarifying cards from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and you have a bonus message from the Oracle that is the Threads of Fate. And this video is for my Libra through Pisces collectives for Sun, Moon, and Rising. So let's get into the cards that I pulled for my Libra collective. You guys have a bonus message from the Threads of Fate for your New Year's energy. And in the Twin Tarot, you guys have the Chariot in the shadow aspect. Interesting. My Libra family. The clarifying card is the Daughter of Pentacles. And your Threads of Fate cards are your ancestors and patience. So these are the energies going into 2021 that Spirit wants you to pay attention to. Now, okay, Libras, let's see what the shadow aspect of the Chariot has to say for you all. This card talks about powering through things, and perhaps that's the energy you need to get through to 2021, is just powering through. All right. The shadow aspect of the Chariot card harmonizes in the energies of obsessively being driven, imbalance, bravado, insensitivity, and blinkered vision. It says, material goals and ambitions I need, not letting them rule me completely I heed. And the Dark Chariot card represents the negative side of ambition. This charioteer is obsessively driven by a lust for material wealth or power. He's so preoccupied with winning that he's oblivious to the needs of the loved ones and rides roughhousely over anyone who gets in his way. It says you may have chosen this card because your focus on a goal is becoming too extreme, my Libras. You can test this by asking yourself 2 questions. Do I still have time to stop and smell the roses? And am I aware of, or considerate to, the feelings and needs of those around me? Interesting. It says that there's also, alternatively, that you may be asked to choose between being pulled between 2 opposite directions by very different but seemingly equally important aspirations. If so, you need to sacrifice one of them for the moment so that you can give the other the time and effort it really needs. Find some realistic ways in which you can better manage these 2 priorities in parallel. Oh, yes. Do you see how in the card we have the dark and the light? Right? These 2 aspects of yourself, like these 2 passions, these 2 directions that you want to go, and it's driving you crazy because you haven't found the patience and the slowing down in order to really weigh between the 2. And the true power is going to become harnessing both of these. Interesting. Okay, Libras, let's get into the Daughter of Pentacles and let's see how this clarifies the Chariot for you. The Daughter of Pentacles. This card is all about responsibility being supportive and kind. It says you'll usually find the Daughter of Pentacles behind the scenes rather than out in the spotlight. Though quiet and shy, she's extremely hardworking and responsible. She handles details and logistics well. People depend on her. She has a vast amount of inner strength. Like all of the Pentacles family, the daughter thrives when in nature. So, I mean, my Libras, this is definitely you. This is you behind the scenes, and you're very responsible and hardworking. And what Spirit is wanting for you to do is to find the balance so that these priorities that you have, stopping and smelling the roses and being able to see the balance, that is your gift, my Libras. This is your destiny, and what you are incarnated here on this earth to represent is balance. So let's see what your ancestors have to say in regard to this lesson for 2021 that you're being shown regarding patience. Number 89, ancestors. This card is encouraging you to deepen your relationship with your ancestors and bring whatever you want guidance on to them. If you have not already done so, making an altar to your ancestors is a good way to begin. You can ask them what they want as offerings and put pictures or symbols of them on it as well. It may be a good idea to take a pilgrimage to the places they once lived. If not, learn as much as you can about them and where they come from. You may ask them if there is any healing that you can do for them. It's important to honor our ancestors and where we come from, and do so however you can. Interesting. So I'm getting intuitively that Spirit wants you to know you should be calling upon your ancestors to help you find the inner strength and balance and patience to become this nurturing, supportive energy that you are meant to be, Libras, and to help you overcome the shadow aspect of this Chariot card and not to be insensitive to the people around you. Tap into your ancestor energy to harness this gift of balance that you're meant to have. Another message here from this card says, sometimes we become too reliant on the guidance of others, and it's important to remain sovereign and independent when holding counsel. Understand that working with your ancestors is different than working with other guides or allies. They will have their own opinions about you and your life, and you may need to use your discretion. So again, if there is trauma, if there is wounding in your ancestral line that needs to be healed, make sure you're doing that work first and the veneration and honoring of your ancestors before you start to turn to them for advice, because they might be giving you advice from a place of unhealed energy. And make sure you give to them before you start to expect in return, if that makes sense. So let's see what patience has to say. I think this is going to be the overall message for my Libras. Number 18, patience. Big energy for 2021 is having patience and not bravado and not impulsivity and just rushing through things. It's one thing to be inspired, and it's another thing to be driven mad. I think about this too. I can see it in this fawn, is that she has the ability to sprint and to drive and to go crazy. And this happens a lot. We see these little deer on the side of the road that get startled and then they end up getting hit by a car. But really it's like this one extreme or the other. They're either in fawn or they're in frantic. Like they either are frozen or they're dashing all over. And I feel like this is something that Spirit is trying to help you not fall victim to. And having this patience is going to be the biggest message for you in 2021. So Libras, this card brings the message that you must be patient and trust divine timing. Humans are anxious creatures, and we know what we want and we want it now. But we are also working in collaboration with the divine, which means that sometimes we have to wait a little bit longer than we would like. Looking to the earth can be helpful when we are working to cultivate our patience. We cannot rush the seasons. A tadpole cannot rush its metamorphosis. A tree cannot rush its growth. This card asks you to have faith that your own process is happening in perfect time. The turtle energy is about steady determination. And sometimes people who struggle with patience decide to give up on something simply because they're unable to wait for good things to come into fruition. Any delays discourage them. Something to note about turtles is that their land speed is about 3 to 4 miles per hour, but their speed in water is 10 to 12 miles an hour. This is a reminder that if we are patient and wait for the right time or the right conditions, we will have less resistance and make more progress. The spirit of the turtle calls for resolve, grit, and persistence, and you can call upon this turtle when you need assistance in sustaining effort in your long-lasting ventures. You also got the energy of chamomile, and this is obviously to help relax you. So chamomile tea, my Libra family, you're going to be drinking a lot of that in 2021. It says, when we are met with a resistance or a delay, it's not uncommon that we experience increased anxiety or frustration as we feel we don't have control. And chamomile is the go-to tea before bed because of its sedative effects, but its medicine is good at any time. Chamomile has a calming effect on our nervous system, so it becomes handy when we feel like we are overthinking or stressed. It teaches us to be calm and serene in the process despite it not being our ideal timing. Call upon chamomile when you need support with surrendering to the teachings of patience and divine timing. Interesting. There's one more. There's a petrified wood energy in this card, and it says that petrified wood is fossilized roots and trunks of ancient trees. It is a stone of steady growth and patience. Look at this card. Look how these two are connected. Do you see how the ancestor is the tree? I know it's hard to see them, but it's beautiful. It says, petrified wood holds the wisdom of time, and it teaches us how to not sweat the small stuff. It's a reminder that divine timing will always be better than our personal timing, and that we must always trust that. It encourages us to stay the course, but to not push the river as it flows all on its own. Continue to show up to your work and continue to reach toward your growth, but do not rush. Call upon petrified wood for ancient knowing in the process of divine timing. Yes. Grace. And I'm getting too off of this card that the rainbow comes after the storm. Having faith and knowing that your time is coming, my Libras. Don't rush it. Accept and embrace the in-between, because that's where the metamorphosis really transforms. That's where all the magic happens. Okay, my Libra family, I hope this message resonated with you, and if you want further guidance, I'm available to do readings for private and more personalized information here. I'm offering 2021 Glimpse in Advance Energies, so you can book one of those with me if this is something you're interested in. Otherwise, make sure you're coming over to Instagram on Fridays. We're going to have bonus messages there. And stay tuned to my channel for different kinds of content that I'll be releasing in 2021. Definitely more than just tarot, but if you're interested in the tarot, you might have to just book private readings with me going forward. I love you guys so much, my Libra family. Please stay patient. Your time is coming, and Spirit wants you to know this, and I hope these messages served you well. Going to move on into the next sign, which is my Scorpio collective. Okay, so this is the reading for my Scorpio collective, Sun, Moon, and Rising combinations. From the Twin Tarot, you guys have the light aspect of strength. Nice energy for my Scorpios. The clarifying cards for the Wild Unknown Tarot are the Moon and the Ace of Swords. Powerful. Okay. I expect nothing less from my Scorpios. The Moon and the Ace of Swords, of course. Now, your Thread of Fate card is love. Beautiful. Wow, Scorpios. All right, let's see what the messages are for you guys for your 2021 energy. Like going into the year strong with the strength and the light aspect. I love it because I know you guys have been overcoming some real difficult energies in 2020. So it says, loving myself, lion, warts and all, gives me the strength to be brave and forceful. This card resonates to the frequencies of mental courage, tolerance, compassion, emotional strength, inner tranquility, and self-love. Wow, Scorpios leveling up in 2021. It says, from a psychological perspective, the lion can denote our based instincts and our spontaneous reactions to inherent fears, frights, and phobias. If unchecked, its dominating and demanding ways take over the personality. If totally repressed, the personality is weak and spineless. The Maiden in the Light Strength card represents pure, serene, higher parts of our being that understand and are able to subdue the lion with love and compassion. Love and compassion. Oh, my Scorpio family, you are powering up big time. It says, in choosing this card, it seems that you too have tamed your inner lion and no longer needing to fight or to repress its spontaneous outbursts or deal with the fallout of its rages. You have harnessed its power and energy and channeling them to where, when, and how they can be used most efficiently. Knowing you can remain controlled and predictable in most situations gives you the confidence and trust in yourself and the ability to succeed at any project you are presently starting or striving to complete. Your fortitude will enable you to overcome any obstacles, uncertainties, or stresses that you may encounter along the way. Wow. It says that the strength card asks you to always remember you achieved this inner strength by being gentle, kind, and loving to yourself and to the lion within you. Holy smokes. That dignity is now part of your being and may be the inspiration. The inner tranquility is yours to enjoy. It talks about overcoming your base instincts, is what this card is. Showing tenderness when the lion starts to roar. And what I'm getting here intuitively with the love, the Ace of Swords, and the moon, being pulled by your emotions. This is what the moon represents, right? And what I'm getting from this is like not letting the cycles, the patterns, the moon affect you and having this tranquility, this inner peace. And I think the Ace of Swords also is going to talk about this energy of harnessing this strength with love. Okay, let's get into it. Let's see what it says. Let's talk about the moon first, because I feel like that one is the overall. And then the Ace of Swords is to clarify. The moon is so powerful, especially to my Scorpio collectives. Especially, I'm getting that you have a Scorpio moon. So, this card... My hands are so cold that I'm having a hard time opening the book. So please forgive me. It always happens when I do readings. My hands get really cold. I'm not sure why I'm telling you this. But I also do practice Reiki, and when I practice Reiki, my hands get really hot. So it's like a nice balance. The moon card talks about fears and vivid dreams in this deck. It says in many ways, the moon card encompasses the entire idea of the wild unknown. It is the shadow realm, the place where dreams, fears, and mysteries are born. And much darkness can linger here if you aren't careful. This can lead to periods of anxiety or self doubt, almost as though you've lost your way in a house of mirrors. Many great artists have roamed the inner landscapes. It's where imagination and creativity drift freely upon the midnight air. Interesting. Okay. I see something in my Scorpios about this creative landscape that they have to. You Scorpios are so gifted with this ability to shine light in the dark and to revel in the dark and to really harness the power of the unseen. So let's see how that plays out into the Ace of Swords. I feel like they're intrinsically connected, like so deep. I'm feeling this. The Ace of Swords. Aces are always about big, new, in bursts of energy. So, Ace of Swords is talking about a burst of truth and mental clarity. When lightning strikes, the whole world seems to light up for just 1 second. It's as though you can see everything, and this vision lingers on even through the storm. Such is the power of the Ace of Swords. Your mind will become clear and your thoughts precise. It's a great time to make the decisions you've been putting off. Scorpios. Wow, this is really deep and really powerful. Huh. Something like divine intervention guidance type of energy. You're going to be doing this deep inner work to overcome these base instincts of fear, right? And when you do this work, the illusions are going to be cut away, and you're going to have these like profound revelations. And I think everything that ties together with it is this energy of love, about self-love, and like reflecting on your inner qualities. Like I think of the lion seeking like a heart, right? Of like courage in your heart. Holy smokes, Scorpios. This is big. This is a really deep message. I'm so happy to be able to help you guys connect to this energy. So let's see what love has to say as far as the threads of fate for 2021. Number 97, love. Okay, this card says this is an invitation to examine love in all facets of your life. This is love of self, love of others, and your healthy or not so healthy boundaries. Your presence with others, your relationship with intimacy, if you feel seen and heard, your passion, your joy, and total responsibility. This card signals a need to build a better relationship internally, or maybe with a partner, in your business or work life, or even towards a goal or hobby. It could also be a reminder that love is a choice. Sit with these questions, my Scorpio family. Do you actively work on your relationship with yourself? Do you feel you trust and respect yourself? If you have a partner, do you feel balance in the relationship? Do you feel balance with your friends? How do you feel in your work environment? What is your relationship with passion? And do you make the time for it? What about with intimacy? Do you feel comfortable with it? Do you feel love avoidant or love addicted? What is your attachment style and how do you express love? Our relationship with love in all its forms is always in motion and flux. And when this card makes itself known to you, Scorpios, it simply means that you should spend a day or two witnessing how love lives in your life. Beautiful. You are being asked to show yourself self-love and compassion. not let your emotions and fears get the best of you. Find the truth, harness the inner strength of this lesson, and radiate the love that you find for yourself outward into your life. My Scorpio family, this is a beautiful message. Like I would love to go deeper into this. So if you're interested in getting some more guidance about how these energies are impacting your year for 2021, reach out to me. I'd be happy to do private readings for you. I do offer a special 2021 wheel reveal year in advance glimpse. You'll get energies for each month of the year. And I'm offering those, so there's still a few appointments left, and you can book that with me if you're interested. Otherwise, come over to my Instagram on Fridays. I'm going to be doing like the bonus messages over there that I do, so you can get some extra energy forecasts. And going forward into the new year, I'm going to change up the offerings on this channel, and I'm going to be doing just monthly zodiac sign tarot forecasts. That way, if you are resonating with these messages, you are going to have to do private readings with me if you want something more than just the month in advance. But I will be offering other content such as interviews and reviews of decks, and it'll be great. So my Scorpio family, I love you guys so much, and I'm really excited about these energies for you. And thank you all for viewing and for supporting the channel. I am going to move on now to my next collective, which is my Sagittarius family. So, Sagittarius, there's a twin tarot message for you. You got bonus messages from the Wild Unknown Tarot and the message from the Threads of Fate. Sun, Moon, and Rising Sagittarius collectives for 2021. Here are your energies. The shadow aspect of the Tower. So a big shakeup in 2021 for you guys to pay attention to right out the gates. Some divine intervention and some turbulent energies are going to rock the start of your year. Now, the clarifying cards for this message are the Hermit. This is going it alone and seeking the light in the dark. So this is a dark night of the soul type of energy, how it causes my Sagittarius family to seek the light. And then you also have the Strength. Look at this. This is crazy. The Strength, of course, is an energy that I just got for my Scorpio collective, so you might be a cusp of Sagittarius and Scorpio. What I want to point out to you is this is the dark, this is the light in the dark, and this is the light. See the duality of these two energies? Now, this is about finding inner compassion and strength. Also, the wildest thing to show you guys for my Sagittarius is look at the mirror of this energy. This is a 9 and this is 11. So you have, it's the mirror. 1x, x1. It's a mirror. My Sagittarius family are experiencing their reflection. And that's like an ego death type of scenario. Crazy. Whew, this is just sending my mind reeling. Something happens to you, Sagittarius family. You start to go within. You start to see the light of the situation. Then you harness this light. You intuitively guide yourself through courage and compassion. And then let's see how that goes into the Threads of Fate. The shadow. Interesting. Oh, this is a very complicated and dark message from my Sagittarius family. I'm also getting this has something to do with the eclipse. You went through the eclipse energy that happened in Sagittarius season in December projected you into some situation here, my Saggies. So let's get into the reading a little bit deeper. We have the shadow aspect of the Tower. So not the best energy to start 2021, but it certainly serves a purpose, the shadow work. Says, let's see, I should focus. Boop. That kind of did the trick. This card is connected to the energies of sudden and unexpected reality checks, disruptions, adversities, accidents, upheavals, and storms. It says, I know I'm not immune to some adversity. I face it when it comes with strength and dignity. With strength and dignity. In the traditional tarot, the Hermit card is a wizard who's, cloaked and has a lantern and he's out on this journey. And I think of, it's always like, to me, it's Gandalf, So, strength and dignity. Interesting. It says there are certain experiences in life that happen both suddenly and unexpectedly. Rather like the bolt of lightning striking from out of the blue, literally, Oh, I'm reading the wrong... Let's go back. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Sag. This is actually the shadow aspect of the Tower. So let me start again. I was reading the light aspect of the Tower, which of course I think does resonate more with Sagittarius because you have this ability to always see the silver lining and always, like I just did as a Sagittarius moon, is just always shift the perspective. And people kind of find it sickening sometimes how positive Sagittariuses can be, especially when it comes to shitty situations. But this is kind of like our gift, is this philosophical ability to see the both sides of the coin. So getting into the dark aspect of this card, it talks about rude awakenings, accidents, and chaos. It says all Tower events are potentially life-changing, though they are not as devastating as that depicted in the Tower card. Here, the storm and fire are destroying seemingly solid human-made edifice, the Tower, right down to its very foundations. The surrounding blackness demonstrates the unpredictable and unknowable nature of life. Sudden and unexpected experiences happen to us all of the time. They can strike us internally, a shocking flash of realization that we've been deluding ourselves in some way, or externally, a happening that shatters at least some part of our life as we've been living it. Oh, ooh, deep message, my Sag family. This is coming to terms with your shadow side. This ego death, like I was saying. Holy fuck, this is I'm even having a hard time embracing this message right now because this 2021, 2020 was a rough year as it was, and I think maybe as Saggies we've kind of been able to roll with the punches, and they're not going to stop in 2021. We're going to go even deeper into this work, and we're going to have a supreme level up. So, my Saggies, the Strength card that will get you through these sudden and unexpected revelations of self, or the accidents and chaos of the external, how that does come from the internal in a psychological way. This is a card that represents mastery of emotions. It's common to think of this card as a roaring and devouring side of the lion, but look again. The Strength card suggests it's a much deeper force that's found within. The lion represents our most patient, composed self. He's a master of focus and compassion and self-control, and when this card comes up, you're in need of harnessing this power for yourself. All the courage you need can be found in the muscle known as your heart. And here's how you're going to master this emotions is through the Strength card. And now we have the Hermit. This is about meditation and solitude. The idea of being a hermit is not supported in our society, but in the realm of the tarot, hermits are highly celebrated and valued creatures. Through meditation, solitude, and stillness, they bring wisdom to all. When this card appears, it's time to step back from the business of day to day life and focus on your inner realm. Become more self aware. If you're intrigued by meditation, start now. Spend time by yourself. Your inner fire is ready to be lit. It will shine for all to see. Shining a light into the dark, my Saggies. And again, this is kind of similar to what the Scorpio message was about. So, again, you might have some Scorpio placements. This might be involving a Scorpio scenario, especially with the Uranus. It's deep. It's deep, Saggies. All right. The shadow. Number 40. Okay, so this card indicates that diving deeper into your shadow at this time will be beneficial. It is through knowing our unconscious self that we find the root of our blocks, perceived limitations, and wounds. It's also how we come to know ourselves in our totality. We cannot reach our true potential without meeting our shadow and working with the parts of ourselves that we have been told to lock away or be ashamed of. This includes brilliant aspects of ourselves as well, not just perceived flaws. The truth is, your shadow is your greatest gift. The bats are expert at moving through the dark using echolocation. Moving through the dark, right? Echolocation is like feeling out. They are unable to see what their surroundings are, but they try by producing high frequency sounds and listening to the echoes of the objects close by. They're able to get an incredibly accurate idea of their environment. This is very much like doing shadow work. We often do not understand the logic of our subconscious, but we can feel it. And it can be uncomfortable, like we do not have our senses, but if we trust the process the way bats trust the echolocation, our shadow work comes alive in unexpected and magical ways. If you're struggling with things you cannot see entirely, call upon the bat as your ally. Interesting. So, my Sagittarius family, you have shadow work, you have inner strength to look at, and you're going to have a lot of facing your ego coming up in 2021. I'm really happy and proud of you guys because on the other side of this work comes major power-ups, and you sages are capable of doing this better than any other signs, transmuting and healing these dark aspects of ourselves. If this message resonates and you want a deeper reading, you can reach out to me. I'm offering 2021 year in advance videos that I will be able to do for you through Zoom. And I'm also going to be doing free content still on Instagram, so make sure to come over there on Fridays. Going forward in 2021, I'm going to be changing up the offerings on this channel and doing more interviews and doing more topics based on esoteric and metaphysical topics. So let me know what content you guys are looking forward to seeing and how I'm going to change things up. I'm more than welcome to some feedback and doing this shadow work right alongside you guys. Love you all so much and thank you for your support. Now I'm going to move on to my next collective. Okay, this is the message for my Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Your 2021 energies right out the gate. I asked Spirit for these messages for you from the Twin Tarot. You guys have the light aspect of Judgment. Oh, this makes so much sense, my Capricorns, because this is 2020 energy for sure. Like 20 is the Judgment in the deck. So something... Oh, because Capricorn season brings us into 2021. So This is about you being a bridge from one realm to the next. So my Capricorns are going to be transitioning from something into something else. Okay, and then the clarifying cards you got are the Seven of Pentacles. So this is Earth energy. Okay, that makes sense with my Cappies. And 7, yep, this is about balance, progressing. And you also got, the Sun of Pentacles. So you went from the 7 to the Sun. Interesting. Again, this is you, Capricorn. This is big Earth energy. This is about you holding something down going into 2021. Some kind of... Okay, now the threads of fate for you guys are the Magi. Big Christmas energy here. Magi. And Dare to Dream. Gorgeous card. Wow, Capricorns. What are you building? What is going... Something guided to dream and build. Okay, let's get into the Twin Tarot message for the Judgment in the light aspect, which is a very positive energy. So, right out of the gate for 2021, my Capricorn families are dealing with the light aspect of Judgment. And this card has to do with a crossroads. Like I said, a transitioning, right? Awakening, a calling, a karma, and a resurrection. It says, rising above the material surface, I take up the sword and find my true purpose. Oh, deep. Judgment is a karmic card. Its selection marks times of special importance on the life journey. Sometimes we're aware of this, having reached a major crossroad in at least one area of our lives. At other times, we may believe that we simply have some comparatively mundane choices to make. Either way, drawing this card suggests that the decisions you reach, the path you choose at this time, will have significant implications of your future, so consider well before proceeding. The character pictured on the Light Judgment card is the Lady of the Lake from the Arthurian legends. She is the keeper and protector of the most divine parts of our being, the higher self, symbolized by the sword that she holds. And choosing this card, the Lady of Lake sees you as growing into a more balanced and whole individual who is awakening to the realization of the interconnectedness of everything and all. In presenting you the sword, she's calling you to rejoice in a new sense of freedom that comes with this appreciation of universal consciousness. You are no longer imprisoned by misguided, ego-driven understandings about the meaning and purpose of your life. This makes for more ease and clarity in your choices and decision-making. This is a beautiful energy for my Capricorn. I'm like overwhelmed to cry right now because it's just like, with the Magi and the Dare to Dream, it says, whenever you draw the Light Judgment card, consider it a sacred sign, a blessing. I'm getting this Lady of the Lake gifting you this like true purpose. It's been a long time coming for my Capricorns. I feel it really deep. I have a Capricorn rising myself, so I'm like, holy smokes, like, it's like I feel blessed just giving you this message. So let's get into the Seven of Pentacles. So this is a card that talks about a period of contemplation. This is a curious card because the Seven of Pentacles shows a period of uncertainty and contemplation. You're looking back at all of your hard work and wondering if it has been a failure or a success. You can't seem to decide, Capricorns. Shouldn't you be reaping more rewards by now? Maybe so, but the mind has control over perception. It's possible your rewards are waiting for you to recognize them, and they are not always monetary. My Capricorns, yes. The higher self, right? It's transcending the material. That's what this card said. This work that you've been doing is about breaking away from the illusions and limitations that your life didn't have a purpose. Very interesting. Let's see what the Sun of Pentacles has to say, because I feel like this is like I said, this is you. So what are my Capricorns experiencing in 2021? Yep, this is about a quiet, loyal, and dedicated person. The good side of the Sun of Pentacles is that he's loyal and determined, inventive, and can be trusted wholeheartedly. But sometimes this figure is stubborn and persistent to a fault. This, combined with the quiet nature, results in being hard to get to know and socially awkward at times. He commonly only has 1 or 2 close friends rather than many. So, my Cappies, this is a period of inner reflections and growth, and you starting to see the work and the rewards of the other side of it. So let's go into the Magi card, which again, this is like this big Christmas energy happening in the Capricorn season. So Magi, number 98. The Magi indicates a period where you need to look deeper. It asks you to examine what you think you know and then keep going. Throughout our lives, we build an infrastructure of beliefs that allow us to navigate life. But so often this system is built on top of a shaky foundation or out of weak materials. In other words, it's time to question that which you have never noticed, Capricorns. What beliefs inform your decisions, your passions, and your ambitions? The Magi is a seer of illusions, and in turn they are able to cut through the fog and get to work. Persistent, of course. The Magi may see the world similar to a mirrored funhouse. They see the core of each experience and are able to acknowledge how many different realities exist in a single moment. Being able to see these many realities is a gift, and it teaches us to be less attached to a single road, but instead see where all the roads meet. If we are courageous enough to see and be open to our life unfolding along any of the various roads, we invite a magic that few will get to experience. Interesting. So let's see what Dare to Dream has to say. This is so interesting, my Capricorns. This is about following your dreams and not being taken off the path by illusions, but really deeply contemplating what it is you want to dream about. Okay. No dream is too big for you. This card is an invitation to step wildly into your dreams, to visit them often and ask them what they need from you. Despite what your current circumstances are, no matter how far away you feel from your dreams, Spirit is telling you otherwise. We often neglect our dreams because we do not know how to attain them, but the process of going after them is a collaboration with the universe. If you show up for them, they will show up for you too. The energies of this card are brought to you by the eagle. The eagle's sight is by far the strongest of its senses. In fact, it has the best sight in all of the animal kingdom. It is said to be able to spot a rabbit from over a mile away. In the aspect of our personal dreams, the eagle can be an ally for visualizing that which feels far away. A huge part of attaining what we desire is the ability to visualize it. Continue to use your imagination while showing up for what is right in front of you, even if you can't see how they connect. Interesting. So there's also an energy here of buckthorn, and it says, If we are to go after our dreams, we will need resilience. Things may try to derail you, and you may even reach a moment where you think, am I supposed to be doing this? But keep going and stand your ground. The buckthorn is extremely helpful when dealing with external influences that may be discouraging. I just keep saying, like, the buck. The buck. And there's also a ruby represented here, and it says, the ruby is one of 4 precious gemstones and has been considered highly valuable throughout all of human history. It's also an incredibly hard stone, second only to diamonds. Rubies can serve as an ally when we are chasing our dreams, as it encourages us to cultivate the durability required to succeed. Durability. Interesting. It says, it's considered a precious stone. Things of value do not always come easily. We must persevere. Where the buckthorn is helpful in dealing with external influences, the ruby supports the internal. Call on it when you feel small, and when your self-talk is not so great, and when limiting beliefs are interrupting your progress. Wow. Spirit's on your side as far as this progress goes, my Capricorns, because like I said, you went from the 7 to the 11. 7-11. Oh, thank heaven. And like I said, you've been chosen. This is you are experiencing, you have been gifted by Spirit to be this bridge, to create the dream. And you're going to do it. You just have to take this time to really connect and dig deep into yourself to find the imagination to manifest it. If you Capricorns want to talk deeper about manifesting, I would love to be able to help you. I am offering private readings that are going to give 2021 year in advance review. You can get an energy for each month of the year, and I'll be doing those in private readings. Otherwise, come over to my Instagram on Friday. I'm going to have some bonus messages there for you guys. And I also have some new content coming to the channel in 2021 that's going to be more focused on doing interviews and diving deeper into the tarot and the metaphysical and self-help and psychological aspects that bring the guidance that I've used in these readings and videos to you into a bigger light, and really exploring where all of these ideas come from. So stay tuned to the channel, and again, thank you guys all so much for the support you show me throughout the year. I really appreciate it. I love you so much. I'm so blessed to be able to give these gifts and these knowledges from Spirit to you. So thank you for showing up for them. I'm going to move on to the next collective, and that is my Aquarius family. Okay, so for the Aquarius family, we have Twin Tarot, Wild Unknown Tarot, and the Threads of Fate. Let's see what you guys have. Sun, Moon, and Rising Aquarius, you guys are dealing with the shadow aspect of the world. Okay, so this is number 21 in the tarot. This is the last card of the Fool's Journey. And going into 2021, that means my Aquarius family are going to be experiencing a ending of chapters, so to speak. And this is really deep because this kind of resonates with the energies of 2021, right? And people talking about how this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and that we are transitioning into a portal of a new life, a new way of being. My Aquariuses are feeling it stronger than others for certain. So the clarifying energy for this card is the 5 of Wands. 5 is the energy of transformations. It's about changes and challenges. It's about disharmonies, because things are sort of out of order, so to speak. And that definitely, I think, resonates with the shadow aspect of the World card. Now, the threads of fate for my Aquariuses are release. So in 2021, you're going to be experiencing a release of the old paradigm. Yeah, look at the threads on her. See how these ties have come untied. Release. All right, let's get into the message. So the shadow aspect of the world. When this card comes out in a reading, my Aquarius family, it's because it's resonating to the energies of stagnation, frustration, blockages, impatience, and incompletions. It says, "It is not yet the time to dance and celebrate. There's more for me to do first. The partying must wait." In this card, the Fool believes it's time to dance and celebrate, but maybe not quite yet. You may have chosen this card because you're trying to hang on to or even celebrate a particular relationship, situation, or cycle of your life that is really over. If so, this World card reminds you that in the end you can't prevent resolutions which are inevitable. And it's likely that deep down you know this ending is probably for the best. You may presently believe you are about to achieve a particular ambition toward which you have been striving. Alas, the Dark World card suggests only partial completion of this goal. At this stage, anyway. You can settle for the lesser outcome or be patient and prepared to put in more time and effort for the ultimate prize. Sometimes impatience is driven by the desire for public recognition or acclaim. This Dark World card warns that these might be delightful byproducts of attaining personal ambitions, but there can be a certain emptiness when they are the driving principle. Realization of this is a positive sign of becoming less ego-driven, which in turn suggests a growing understanding of the bigger picture of personal and universal interconnectedness. If you are moving in this direction, there will soon be a reason to dance. The energy is kind of stagnated for you guys right now. Like, you want to release, you need to do a deeper release than you want. So let's see how that plays out in the Five of Wands. Interesting. I'm really glad for you, Aquarius family. This has been a long time coming, and I'm so happy you guys are finally coming to this completion. I really have faith in you that you're going to be able to do the full cleansing work that needs to be done. So, the Five of Wands talks about a lack of focus, being lost, and being scattered. The Five of Wands is a card of conflict. You may find yourself scattered, distracted, or tending to everything and nothing. Since wands deal with our dreams and goals, it usually means this conflict rides within you. Your energy moves outward in many directions, yet you are suffering inside. Take this card as a warning. Find ways to bring calm and focus to your mind, or these troubles will only increase. Look at her face. You know, look at the dark and the light, these two aspects. It's like, if you notice, she's kind of leaning towards the negative inclination, like she's looking that way instead of towards the light way. These are messages of warning to you, my Aquarius family. You are being guided by Spirit. They want you to pay attention so you have the ability to change your direction. Release. Number 22. Okay, releasing is a lot easier said than done. In fact, we can spend our whole lifetime trying to break free from our limiting beliefs or painful experiences. Sometimes we have an idea of where we want to go, so we compartmentalize and repress the things we are believing are holding us back. But we still want to honor ourselves and our experiences. We just want to give ourselves new options new options of behavior so we are not stuck within the same old patterns. Spend a moment reflecting. What is no longer serving you, my Aquarius family? What is old, stale, and taking up space within you? What would you do if these things didn't take up so much of your energy? What other behaviors and beliefs do you wish to be possessed? The frog energy. This card shows the frog. It is a potent ally of releasing and repurposing. Sometimes we approach our perceived flaws as things to eliminate, but the frog teaches us that we can use that which no longer serves us as fuel for the new. Every week, the frog not only sheds its skin, but it eats it. Nothing goes to waste. All things within us have a purpose, as long as we can expand our minds to see it. So how can you transmute what no longer serves you, my Aquarius? How can you release, but also do it purposefully? How can it serve you in a new way? About, being scattered. And again, this talked about not wanting to do the full release, of being impatient. But it takes time and it takes healing. It's the shedding of your skin, right? You can't keep picking at these scabs, Aquarius. Okay. It says there's also the plant medicine here of comfrey. Comfrey is an herb that has a long history of being an impressive wound healer, even to the point of being able to aid in resetting of broken bones, earning its name, the bone set. Comfrey teaches us that in order to release, we must tend to the inflammation. We must process our feelings and show up for our rage and our grief. Only after we have worked through our feelings can we begin to let it go. Call upon comfrey as an ally in processing your work so that when you do begin to release and integrate, it is settled. I see these as like broken bones now because of this. It's not enough to let it go, my Aquarius family. You have to value what it brought to you. Interesting. So there's another energy here in this card that talks about the stone of epidote. It says sometimes what we don't want needs to get big enough for us to actually see it and take action. Part of the epidote's magic is being helpful in finding the root of something. So not only does it amplify, but it also guides us in getting to the core issue. In that way, it is helpful at every stage of the process to call upon epidote when you need support in the practical and psychological side of releasing. Again, what is old and stale and taking up space? Is it your way of thinking? Is it your inclination towards looking at the negative and the anxiety and feeling scattered and purposeless? My Aquarius family, 2021 is going to help you break these paradigms. Like I said, this is the final stage. This is the closing of this chapter. So you have no other choice but to let it go and to release this. And Spirit is going to help you in 2021 to do this. And I'm really excited to see what comes out on the other side of these energies. So I hope this message served you guys. If you are interested in doing a deeper reading, I'm available for private readings. I'm also doing specialty 2021 glimpses into the energies ahead for you guys. So message me if you want one of those private readings. I'm going to be changing up the content on this channel in the new year. I'm going to be doing kind of like a more in-depth look into the tarot and the meanings and symbolisms behind it. I'm going to go a little deeper into the psychoanalysis of these messages and how the tarot works to help us tap into our subconscious and our dreams. And then I'm also going to be doing interviews with people on this channel that have interests and specialities in esoteric topics and metaphysical things. So if this is something you are interested in seeing, maybe drop a comment on what kind of content you'd like me to get into. If you want to be on the channel and you want to talk, just drop me a line. I'd be more than happy to see what spirit guides us to connect on. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all of your support this year. I really feel blessed that anybody at all resonates with these messages. So thank you again for being here and being part of this. Now I'm going to move on to the next message, and that's going to be for my Pisces collective. I get all like excited when I get to do my Pisces family. Because I love you guys, because I am a Pisces. So, this also explains why in 2021 I'm going to be doing more in-depth content here, not just tarot, but we're going to dive in real deep into these topics. We're going to get into the psychoanalyzing, we're going to get into the metaphysical and the esoteric symbolism behind the tarot, we're going to get into the coincidences and how the collective unconscious connects to all these things. And I know these are topics my Pisces love to dive into, so make sure you stay tuned in the 2021 because we're going to have a big change up on the channel here. Now, as you can see, you have a plethora of messages here. Spirit just really wants me to connect deep with you guys today, so that's what we're going to do. These are the energies for my Pisces collective, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to, like I said, have some pretty big energies here. Right out the gate for 2021, Spirit is giving you guidance from the shadow aspect of the Judgment card. So, my Pisces family in 2021, there's going to have to be some decisions that need to be made. You might feel like there's some injustice regarding having to make these decisions. And we'll dive a little deeper into that. So, you also got number 13, the energy of transformation in the light aspect. So, these hard choices are supposed to help you change some fundamental things about yourself, my Pisces family, that need to be let go, that you need to shed in order to become great. You need to walk away from this painful, hurtful, death type of energies and follow the light. Now, the clarifying message from the Wild Unknown Tarot is the Fool. And my Pisces family, you are doing this. You are starting a new journey. It is a hard decision, and you are feeling like there's some unfairness about having to let go of some of these things. But it is your time. Okay, and let's see what the threads of fate. You have a lot of fate happening in 2021. 3 cards to be precise. So, the Wildling is the first energy you got. Gorgeous. 2 of Swords is what I got off of this, and if you notice, it has to do with these 2 pillars, these decisions, right, that I was saying have to be made. You also got Withdraw. Interesting energy here. The Fox, the Sleeping Fox. And you got Ask Body. Curious. So, let's dive in, Pisces, with the Justice card in the shadow aspect. This is number 11.